Hello, I'm Ana Cunha. I'm originally from Brazil and I have lived in the US for the last 21 years. I'm also an American citizen. I'm a consultant in marketing and international business development. So I help companies growing, expanding in international markets. This video is for you business owners that are suffering with the impact that the coronavirus situation is causing in your business. I will talk about three things in this video. Number one, current situation. I'll talk about the problems that we as business owners are facing right now. Number two, market trends. I'll talk about the changes that are happening in the world right now due to the consumer behaviors that are affecting your business already and will affect even more once this is all over. And number three, I'll talk about how to survive. What you need to do to reinvent, to innovate, and to prepare your company, not just for this crisis, but for the world once this is all over. I hope this video provides you with some insights and ideas of how you can adapt and reinvent your company and prepare it for the new world. So I hope you stay until the end so you don't miss anything. And at the very end, I will show you examples of very creative companies, and hopefully those examples will also give you some ideas and insights for your own company. So I hope you enjoy it. Before I start, I'd like to ask you, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do that now so you don't forget. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and share. So let's get into it. Current situation. The world has changed, period. And it's forcing everything else to change with it. 21 million people lost their jobs in 21 days in America. But this number now is over 30 million. And according to other sources, there is a big chance that we'll see twice the number of suicides in the next 24 months than we saw in the early stages of the last recession. The prediction is also not good for drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and domestic violence. So we are living a war. It's the coronavirus war. We are living a financial collapse. The global pandemic changes the whole perspective of the world. So the world has changed. And in our business world, this means that we have only two options. We either change or we die. We either change or our business will disappear. There are people saying that the Disney World parks will reopen only in 2021, that the sports events in the US will come back only in 2021. A lot of major events that were supposed to happen at the end of the year were canceled already and will happen only in 2021. So the thing is, we don't know how long this crisis will last. And we can't avoid the problems because they'll get even worse. So we need to act, we need to do something, and we need to do something now. We are living a very interesting time, don't you think? I miss the problems I had 2 months ago. I imagine it's the same with you, right? So we are talking a lot about problems, a lot about how important it is to have positive thoughts, to manage our stress and anxiety, and this is all very important. But I'm not seeing a lot of talks about solution. So let's get into it. Number two, market trends. There are a lot of new trends happening in the world right now due to this whole coronavirus situation that is changing the consumer behavior. And those changes are affecting your business already and will affect it even more in the near future. So you need to take action now if you want to stay in business. Your marketing strategies will need to be reinvented. Probably you need to modify your business model. There's a lot of people saying that even once this is all over, they won't go to restaurants, to concerts, to movie theaters, and to any place that agglomerates people like they used to do before. People will be much more careful with their health. They will do gatherings, but in their homes. We are learning to value the real things. Now we are learning to value things that really matter. Getting together with our friends, our family, will mean so much more now. It will be much more important, the gathering itself, than the place where we meet. We will still check the new restaurant in town, the new place that just opened, but just not the same way we used to do before, just not as often as we used to do before. With all this experience, this isolation period, we are learning to use our homes. So we will start using our homes more and more. Consumer behavior is changing drastically. Your consumers are learning to live and to consume in a different way. People that never bought online before were forced to do that. And now most of them are enjoying the comfort to receive their goods in their own homes. What used to be a differential for some companies will be a requirement for most of our companies. Like home delivery, for example. Companies will have to transform in 2, 3, 4 months what would take 3, 4 years. Look at what happened to the technology companies and the colleges and the schools. Suddenly, all colleges, all schools in the planet had to provide online classes to all its students. Technology companies, they were not ready for this huge demand. So they had to reinvent themselves. They had to adapt in a record time, in few weeks. And they did. All colleges, all schools are providing online classes now. So now that's happening to our companies. Now it's time to our companies to do the same transformation. E-commerce is no longer a secondary option for retailers. The digital world is becoming crucial, fundamental. We are all doing things online that we never thought was possible before. People are doing therapy sessions, online classes, workout, all types of learnings and trainings, etc., etc. Have you thought that a lot of people that are doing, for example, online therapy sessions, they are really enjoying the comfort of doing that from their homes? So what's going to happen after this? The crisis will pass, the virus will be over, but they will want to keep their online sessions. So professionals will have to keep providing this. And if we look at long term, a lot of professionals will need to have, offices or clinics, because they'll move most of their work to the virtual world. And thinking at the long term, this is going to affect a lot of sectors in the economy, like real estate, for example. So there's a lot of lifestyle changes happening right now. Consumers are reevaluating things they value the most. They are paying more attention to what they consume. They'll be more focused on the needs than on the wants. They are becoming more practical and realistic on what they consume, what they purchase. They will start paying more for local products and for ethical companies. Also, they will be focusing more on the experiences they get from the companies and not just buying stuff. Your company needs to start providing experience to your customers. The world had to reboot, and so did our lives. We had to be disconnected, to have a pause, to reevaluate, to rethink, to learn, to adapt, to change ourselves and our business. We had to be disconnected from the world so we could see the world as a whole. We need to open our horizons. How is all this impacting your business? I imagine you are experiencing loss of revenue, your customers disappeared, your suppliers are shutting the doors, your competitors are as desperate as you are, your market is evaporating, right? So you need to adapt, to reinvent, you need to innovate in order to survive. And you need to do it now. You as a business owner, you need to have a global vision now. You no longer can limit yourself or limit your company in the market it is located. You need to start thinking about international markets. I know maybe it sounds crazy for you, because especially if you don't have a big company, many times your company doesn't have to be large to expand in international markets. All you have to have is an innovative product that has demand in other markets. And with everything that's happening right now, you will have your current competitors, but you also get new competitors from other countries, because they will start doing exactly what I'm telling you now to do. They will start exploring new international markets. And maybe your market is their target from now on. The world is shrinking, so you need to start thinking about international markets the same way you used to think about another state to expand. So we need to think about new markets with a global vision, and we need to prepare our companies for this new concept. If we think about all these trends that I just mentioned, I'm going to ask you some questions that hopefully will help you to see if you need to adapt your company or if you are already prepared for this new world. Is your company selling online already? Is your company prepared to sell online? Is your company already engaging with your customers virtually? Are you listening to your customers? Do you know what your customers' needs are? Do you know why they stopped buying from you during this crisis? Are you doing anything to get them back? Are you being creative? Do you know what your customers' new needs are with this new situation? Is your company taking advantage of digital marketing to promote its products and services? If it is it being done properly? Are you taking advantage of all the social media channels to expand your sales? Does your company have a strong presence online? Does your website have all the information your customers and potential customers need? Or they need to go to Google and Bing to research and find the information they need about your company in other websites? Be honest. Does your company have a consistent image on the web? Does your company deliver the same message, the same image throughout the web, on your website, on the social media channels, on LinkedIn? LinkedIn now is very, very important. Where do you think your international customers, potential customers, will look for information about your company? They will look at your website, but they will also look at LinkedIn. And they will look for your company's page on LinkedIn and for your profile. So you also need to have a good profile on LinkedIn. Are you developing your personal branding? This is a trend that's coming from the last 10 years or more, but now it's becoming even more important. People are buying not from your company, but from you. They buy from you and not for the products that you represent. So it's very important that you develop your personal branding. So number 3 now, what to do to survive. But before I do that, I want to ask you again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do that now. And if you are liking this video, give me a thumbs up and make a comment there. I want to know what you think. With all the changes in the world happening right now, it is time to adapt your company for that. You didn't have time before, but now you do. And you should take advantage of this time to fix your company, to adapt it, to prepare it for the new world. Like I said before, we have only 2 options. We either change or we die. Our companies will disappear if we don't do that now. It is time to have a global vision and long-term goals. Don't try to fix your company just for this coronavirus crisis. You really need to start considering international markets. Maybe it's time for a joint venture. Or maybe it's time for you to buy your competitor that's going to close the doors. Maybe you need to reinvent your products, to modify your products or create new ones. I don't know what your problem, your situation is, but I speak from experience. I'm living this alongside with all my clients. So we are all in this together. We as business owners, we are living under so much pressure. So much pressure. But diamonds are created with pressure. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. Every time something like this happens in the world, there's a group of winners and a group of losers. I want to make sure that you are in the group of winners. But for you to be a winner, you need to position yourself as a winner. And in order to do that, maybe you have to do things that you haven't done before. You need to surround yourself with a team of the best professionals to help you. There's a lot of steps and actions and resources that you need to do that. You have to do a market research to identify new markets for you to expand. You probably will need to identify new suppliers, and maybe those suppliers will be located in other markets. You need to have experience with international markets. You need to understand the culture and the way that country does business, because each country has its own way of doing business. You probably need to modify your marketing strategy for your existing market, because Consumer behaviors are changing, as I said before, so you need to adapt, and you also need to develop a marketing strategy and plan for the new market that you are going to expand. You also need to develop a very strong online presence. If you have a presence already, probably you need to revamp that presence. So you can do all this by yourself, or maybe you have a very strong team, so you do this with your team, and then you have to develop a methodology to expand into that new market. So I have good news and bad news for you. Let's start with the bad news. The bad news is that you have to do something, and it has to be done now. Remember, there's not a single company right now that's growing, that's sitting, doing nothing. This quarantine experience won't be the only one. They are saying that this coronavirus can come in waves, and maybe 5 waves. So it will happen again and again. And we need to make sure we learn from this experience. We need to make sure our companies will be prepared next time it happens. So the good news is that you don't need to do it all by yourself. You can get help. You don't have all the resources needed, or you don't have the time, or you have too many problems right now, and you need somebody else to take charge to be your champion. There's a lot of great professionals out there that can help you. Professionals that understand the issues and that can come up with a plan of attack for you. And I include myself in that group of professionals. I'm here to help. That's all that I do. I've done this for almost 2 decades. I have helped companies grow in the US, in Brazil, in China, in Europe. I am strategically located in Miami, and I'm actually adapting my business right now to also help Brazilian companies to expand in the US. With the currency exchange rate right now, Brazilian products are very attractive for America. So keep your eyes open for the opportunities that can come from other markets for your company. I have the international market experience, I have the language, I have the contacts, I have the passion. This is in my DNA. That's what I love to do. I can take your company to foreign markets, help you find a representative in other countries, in Brazil, for example. I can position your company in other markets, get your name out there. I can help you developing marketing strategies and plans for the other market, develop a strong online presence. So if this sounds interesting to you, contact me, let's set up a Zoom call and let's discuss your situation. Let's see if there's potential for us to work together. We can come up with a plan of attack. Let me help you transform your company and transform your life. I have room for 2 or 3 more clients. So I'm looking for companies that are looking to engage with international markets, that have innovative products, and that wants to be in the leading edge of this recovery. If this is you, if this is your company, contact me. Your best option is to take action, to do something, and maybe scheduling a call with me could be a great first step. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do that now so you don't forget. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and share. Now, as a bonus, I will show you examples of 3 companies that are very innovative, very creative, and I hope they inspire you. They give you insights and ideas for your own company. I hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye. So this is a store from New Zealand and Australia, cosmetics store. And when the coronavirus situation forced the stores to shut the doors, they created a tool online for their customers to have virtual appointments with their beauty consultants. So customers could still make virtual appointments to get help and assistance from the beauty consultants, the same way as they used to have when they go to the store for anything they needed. This was a smart idea because it improved the online sales, and the company was still engaged with their customers through this tool. So this was a very creative and very effective tool they developed. This is a furniture company located in San Francisco, California. They manufacture smart furniture for functional spaces. So the furniture is kept on the ceiling and you bring it down when you need it, only when you need it, using voice command. So when you don't need it anymore, it just goes back to the ceiling and saves you space. So the same space that's a living room during the day can become a bedroom at night. So this company wasn't created or reinvented because of the coronavirus, but I thought that it would be a good example to show here because it's a very good example of a very innovative company that is prepared for the world that will face after the coronavirus situation. Very creative, very innovative. So this is Sur La Table, a company that sells everything for kitchen, and this is a good example of a company that was already prepared for big changes. They knew that customer engagement is very important and providing good content is also important besides, selling the products. So they created cooking classes to bring customers inside of the stores. And once the coronavirus situation happened and they were forced to close the stores, it was easier for them to adapt because they just converted their cooking classes that used to happen at the store to online classes. So they were able to keep engaging with their customers and providing good content, good information. This is a good example of a company that's constantly reinventing itself.
Hi, I'm Bon Appetit Executive Chef Mary Nolan, and I'm here in the Sur La Table kitchen.